You've given me feedback after each session, and I can see you progressing, going deeper each time and take it in a different way. Today we did something different.
Which is
that I did some music with it. It was flute, shamanic drumming, rattle, and then good churn. And could you tell me what was the difference for you between having the MP3s playing from the light versus having live music?
I was less aware of the presence of the light. I was really like focusing on the vibrations and different sensations in my body, which was also very different for every instrument. But the light was always there for me, like present. It was like it was talking to me and saying, "You'll be okay, and I'm here, don't be afraid." It was an interesting feeling.
How did you find it when I was using the drum? Did you have feelings in your body, or was it more emotional kind of things going on, or visions, or what kind of thing?
No visions at all today. It's just, I completely blanked out. It's the first time that happened. And this was also the longest session I've ever done. Yeah. And yeah, I had quite a lot of movement and convulsions going on there, but it was all indeed on a physical level, without really being able to explain what was happening.
So would you tell me a little bit how the other sessions have been for you? What kind of experience do you have? You've been playing with different types of music, for example, and have you noticed an overall trend in the sessions from the beginning, first one to the more recent ones?
The last ones have been working on deeper levels. And the first ones, I got a lot of images that came just as images, not really as movies, that came later. But I could see a theme going on in every session. It's really, the Egyptian past life theme in the beginning, very male, and then the next day it was all about the female energy. And yeah, I'm learning so much.
Do you feel that you find it easier to relax into the process and trust the process now that you've done it more often?
I was relaxed from the beginning. I was very trusting, even before, because I spent a few days first just watching people go under the light and just observing, and I was really intrigued by the difference in their energy and their eyes before and after their sessions.
Have you had any, say, therapeutic benefit? In other words, maybe some value that on issues that you've been working on internally, guidance that has come to you while you're on the light?
Wow. Yes, definitely. Every single session there's something that comes up that I can deal with, and then some things to let go of, to transmutate, and transmutation is a key word for me in the sessions. Yes.
And how about what type of emotions have you had?
I've experienced anger, which is not so common in my life. So that was a surprise.
When did you experience that?
One of the first sessions, when I started being more aware of childhood patterns.
Okay.
And then in my daily practice, starting to work with the mother and the father and forgiveness.
So the anger is very healing that you would feel that, because do you think you had just repressed or ignored that in the past to cope with family dynamics?
Oh, definitely. I would just keep distance, dissociate from it. But now I see that I can just face it and let it happen and completely go into the feeling and the emotions, and then they dissolve.
So what's fascinating to me is that this is a prime example of like self-therapy. In other words, nobody's telling you feel this or making hypnotic suggestions or using NLP to guide you and direct you in a certain way. This is your own higher self, if you like, your superconscious, coming in and addressing issues in the trance states that you get into. And have there been any helpers, like for example, images or figures that you've seen, symbols, that have facilitated the emotional healing?
Yes, from the very first sessions, I felt like I was having meetups with my guides. It became more and more clear who they were. A lot of royal, ancient Egyptians there. And I have seen so many pyramids over the last few days. Pyramids and Ankh symbols and lots of sacred geometric patterns.
And has there been an overall trend, like once you started going into the Egyptian theme and connecting with those past lives, over several sessions, did you go from one set of events to another, or was any organization internally, not consciously, but in the energetic release that you could feel?
Yeah, it feels like I can always close a chapter and then having more space for something deeper to come.
And so the resolution, how has that affected your daily life? In other words, the things that you've worked on in LST, have you noticed changes in your reactions to stimuli or your perceptions of yourself? Has anything shifted in your consciousness?
Yeah, definitely. I feel lighter, and I found discipline to take care of my body more, because I'm even more than before aware of the connection between body and mind. And
that was wonderful. If you were to give advice to somebody who's trying the light for the first time, what would it be?
To just trust and going there with no expectations, which was what I did, and it was just amazing.
Well, thank you for sharing all that. Do you see yourself continuing to work with the light? Is it something that's of value for you?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Also, during one of the sessions, the light, I was having an actual conversation with the light.
When was that?
A few days ago. So it was like I was having a conversation with my higher self, and then realizing that it's indeed self-therapy. There's no intermediate, it's just me, and it makes it all more powerful and even more healing.
That's beautiful. And from what you've been telling me, I think you're inspired to take the light out into the world, to be a light ambassador. How does that feel?
I feel like I finally found my mission, and I didn't expect at all to leave Asia so soon, but I just feel that I want to share the light with in Europe.
Mm.